That's why we're sitting this way, because she can only operate it from
I
there.
just said I never knew that was behind us.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. I'm Kate Atwater Butcher. I'm the chairwoman of the Zoning Board of Review. We have Jen Brady, our land use administrator. William Landry is on the TV somewhere. Not here. Well, hopefully he'll be coming. I'll let the rest of the board introduce themselves.
Robert Lamro.
Robert Closter.
Susan Bush, Allison Morphy.
This evening, we have 3 applications and 3 decisions. We do not have any hearings. The first application is for John Hunt and Sari Corman, Plat 4, Lot 16 and 17, fire number 622 Corneck Road and fire number 1065 Corneck Road. The application is for a variance from section 306C to exceed lot building coverage and setback relief. The proposal merges 2 substandard lots into 1 larger substandard lot, all existing buildings to be raised and a new single-family dwelling and accessory buildings to be constructed. Joe.
Yeah, this is a somewhat complicated variance in that it requires a conditional administrative subdivision, which we've already received from the planning board, allowing us to combine the 2 lots into 1 if we're able to get the zoning relief we're requesting. The proposal would demolish a 4-bedroom and a 5-bedroom house in an existing garage and build in their place a 4-bedroom house, a 2-bedroom accessory residential structure, and an accessory building, which is going to be a fitness type of building, not a garage. The current house on the northern lot is 5 feet from the boundary. We'll have a 50-foot setback on that boundary, improving the 5. Because of the line down the middle of the lot, one of the houses also encroaches on the setback. We'll correct that setback. On the southern boundary, the current garage is up 40 feet from the boundary line. Is about 380 square feet. We replace in the same location with a larger building, a 680-foot large building. So we're going to need a 9-foot setback relief on that boundary. And I apologize, in my first application, I miscalculated the setbacks because I miscalculated the frontage. I missed a course when I was measuring, and I had frontage of 161 feet, which would have been an 80% reduction in the setbacks. It's actually 194 feet. So there's a 1-foot reduction in the sideline setbacks. We hope not to have that before you. We filed a modification request, which if granted, will not make you address the relief on that setback. And we'll leave the only question before you, whether you're going to allow us to reduce the footprint of the existing buildings by about 1,100 square feet, roughly 25% of the existing footprint will be reduced, and our lot coverage will go from about 6.75% on the combined 2 lots to 5.43% on the reconfigured lot. So we're basically asking for a 1.43% variance from the building lot coverage requirement.
Okay, so I know we're going to go over this, but I just want to quickly, just so I can wrap my head around about it. Each building is currently, So
there's a 4-bedroom house.
I got you. Okay. All right. I see it. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Does anybody have any questions or want to see any more paperwork or work on the plans?
I have a couple of questions, Joe. On the application on number 10 there, on building standards,
Yes.
it says longest wall plane is 67 feet, maximum is 45 feet.
Wall plans are 75, building plans are 45, unless I have those, okay, I'll amend that because I have mine things flipped.
Okay.
Okay. So when we get to the hearing, you'll have that all corrected for us?
I'll have it back to Jen tomorrow.
Okay.
And what is the lot area of the combined?
The combined lots are 61,855 square feet. You've got an existing 32,000 square foot lot and an existing 28,000 square foot lot. So it's still a substandard lot, roughly twice the size of each of the existing lots.
And lot coverage on each of the individual existing lots is,
One is 6.96% and one is 6.43%. So the average is roughly 6.75.
I had another question on the right side setback there. Jen, is there a reduced setback on that? I didn't see a calculation or anything on that, from 50 to 49.
No, we need to determine that.
The frontage is 194 feet, so I calculated, my calculation comes up a 1 foot reduction. So it's instead of 50, it's 49. We'll still need roughly 9 feet of relief.
All right.
But that's the one that we filed a modification request for. And if that goes through, that won't be before you.
What do you mean you file?
I mailed it to you. I mailed it to the abutters. So you haven't gotten it yet?
And I spoke to probably
You
the
got it?
architect, and I said, why are you doing both?
Well,
Coming to the zoning board, why don't you just put it on the application?
Well, because we have to request the least relief necessary. And it may be, and if I can remove one thing from their consideration, I'm happy. So if I get, in other words, I've got a setback that would be allowed a modification because it's less than 30, it's more than 37.5 feet, which I'm entitled to apply for. So I've applied for that and hope to have that completed before the hearing.
So for that reduced setback that I was talking about, you'll request that to the zoning official for that?
So
I'll talk to Jen about that tomorrow, yeah.
Okay.
let me just back up a little bit. I just want to explain to the board members who may not have gone through this yet. If you are within 37.5 feet and 50 feet in that space, if that's what you need in relief, you can actually apply for a modification, which means that you advertise for X amount of time.
You have to give the abutters 30 days notice
And you
as
have
well.
to notify abutters, and then they advertise in the newspaper, and if no one objects,
It's
it's
granted.
granted, and then it just removes the ability, you don't have to come to zoning for that setback, so. it
but
could-
if someone does object, they still have the right to come to zoning. It doesn't nullify.
Correct.
No, yeah, yeah,
Well,
you still,
well,
if someone objects, you come back to the normal procedure, so that's what they're talking about on this one side, is that if it's less than, I can never do the math backwards math.
It's 40 feet,
Yeah.
it's less than 25%. And
You can apply for, so you're just saying eliminate that relief that you're requesting.
that would eliminate all setback relief and we'd only be talking about the lot cover, building lot coverage at that point.
And they may have that before the hearing, or you should you have that before the hearing? That's 38.
Yeah, I mean, I've mailed it out in time, but I've got to get to you for advertising.
you'd
So I'll talk
also-
to you tomorrow about that.
Then if that is indeed the case, that changes the advertising.
No, because we're advertising for dimensional relief and setback relief.
Oh, so, okay, I got you.
Yeah, and that's both.
And,
I don't know what the point is, because you're gonna apply for a zoning modification permit for lots that don't exist. Those lots are.
You'll see my application, I basically explained the fact that there was a conditional subdivision for them and that it was conditional upon subsequent approval.
Section doesn't say anything about a conditional.
Right.
Subdivision.
That's a
I'm thinking
hiccup.
Probably that might be.
Where's Bill?
And-
Here, right? It all will come back to the.
I'm looking up here. I think
zoning
he's up
official
there.
I'll talk to you, I'll send what you have.
Yeah.
And
I'm
I,
interested to see if that, like, because of it not being merged yet.
but there is a conditional subdivision, so, and I was clear in the letter,
Right.
and I was clear in the letter to the abutters that was what was going
But
on.
what Jen's saying about not being a provision on the modification permit, that you can have a conditional.
It would be a condition, yeah, well,
Right, and
It's just a hiccup, it's just one of those, I get what you're doing.
we can work through that. Worst case scenario is we have the relief we requested, we have to get you to do it. Best case scenario is we get the modification permit, you don't have to, but.
Okay, does anybody else?
You might actually confuse the neighbors.
Pardon?
Think about it. You might actually confuse the neighbors.
Bob's
Because they get,
confused.
Well,
because they get this sub, that first one, and then they're still going to zoning.
Well, I did write a cover letter to the neighbors in which I explained that this was part of an ongoing effort and that they would be getting subsequent notice for a variance application for the overall project. So I tried to be clear with that.
I do have a couple of other questions here. On that right side back in that amended application, the existing and proposed is 40.1 and your relief requested is 8.9.
I based that on the 49-foot setback as opposed to the 50, if you, based on the frontage requirement.
Yep, and on the site plan that we just received, which is called the site plan setback plan,
Setback what?
site plan setbacks.
The setbacks, this, you sent a second,
Oh, that was the sheet?
no, it was the site.
Okay.
Yeah, it was the.
It would be AO.2 site dimension plan.
That's the architectural plans. You'll see the setbacks better on the proposed conditions plan, which is the engineering plan.
But those setbacks on that plan are different than what's in the application.
On this,
On the plan that I just referenced, the site dimension plan AO.2 gives the right side a setback of 39.6.
that was before they were modified. I'm sorry, the correct one is the proposed site plan, plat 4 lot 16 and 17 by Principe Engineering, which has it at 40.1. If that's the case, I've got to send to you, I sent the previous as opposed to the modified because it was a 39.6 at one point and we had them move it to get the existing 41 figure. So I will check that and
Yeah,
substitute that.
that's a 718 on that.
No.
Also, Joe, is the shower, the bulkhead, the entry porch, is that all included inside of the numbers?
Yes, sir.
Coverage?
Yes, sir.
Okay, because I noticed on the building plans, it did not give dimensions of any of that.
I will make sure that they.
On the architectural plans.
Okay, so you'll need dimensions on the architectural plans. Is that what you want?
That's what I was curious, yeah, to be able to double check those numbers.
Yeah.
And also on the architectural plans, there's a dotted line that goes around the building.
The square.
Yes, is that a roof overhang?
I do not know. I do know that the building footprints were calculated, including roof overhangs.
That's the old house.
Is that the old house?
Oh, it's your house. Okay.
No, I'm looking at the architectural.
Then one is not.
I'm looking at the main house first floor plan on A1.1.
Anyone, is that what I'm looking at here?
That's AO point.
Right there. Nope. Oh, I
That's
see.
it.
He's talking about this.
Oh, I see that. I see what you're saying. It's probably overhang.
A 1.1, Rob?
Yes,
You need overhang?
I wasn't sure if it was overhang or not, because when you look at the building elevations, you don't see an overhang.
But if you look at A13,
Mhm.
Those look like eaves to me. But I'm not
that's
positive.
guess from, but
So once again, are those, can we see some elevation or dimensions on those eaves?
yeah,
as well?
Robbie, if you look at A12, it looks like it's overhang.
That's the way to-
The way it's drawn on A12, it looks like it's overhang and it's,
And we had extensive discussions. They know that they had, and they did calculate the first time through, they didn't calculate the overhangs, and they did it in the final figures, so those are included.
As a newer
yeah,
member,
Robbie, do you see this?
yes,
There's like it's like a architectural detail, it's like, and it shows on this drawing. overhang thing. Yeah.
Look and pull those dimensions, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Also, I've got a question for Bill here as a newer member. Maybe Kate or somebody else could help me out here. Under zoning ordinance 314 for coastal references, it
Yep.
references 100 feet,
Yes,
okay? Within this plan, it's 74 feet. So because they're raising the existing structures
mhm.
and putting up a new structure, does that mean you have to stay within that 100 feet?
Well, you could look at it as that you're playing it more and that you're pulling it more into conformance. You're constructing things that are more in conformance of what's existing right now. The 100-foot setback was established, the coastal zone was established after those houses were built. I mean, way after those houses were built. Judith, right? Is that? That they're pulling, by moving them backwards, they're pulling them more into conformance.
Yeah, I see that, but you're thinking.
So
Because
do you
it's a
look
new
at like
building.
fresh?
It's a new building, like new construction.
You're thinking they need relief.
Yeah, would you need relief from that?
Well, they're.
It's not even permitted, it's not even an option,
So,
but they're already there.
We've certainly done discussions for. That is. possible.
Right. We've granted
you granted all over.
walkover structures, we've granted probably,
About gas.
Yeah, and the 79 foot you're looking at is from the mean high water to the approximate edge of the coastal feature. But the buildings are set back another approximately 50 feet from that. So we're over 125 feet from mean high water. So I don't think we're in that zone.
you're out of the coastal zone.
We're out of the coastal zone. Yeah,
Does
we're out
it
of
show
construction.
on the,
On the
On the-
plan that says top of bluff coastal feature, and the building is 74.1 feet from that.
And another 79 feet from the mean high water.
so could we show on a site plan, could you have them show on a site plan the coastal zone, the
Okay.
100-foot coastal
Yeah.
zone?
Yep.
But that,
What was the language saying?
does it say you can get her, you can't,
In 314,
I think it's gotta be at the mean high water, because otherwise the coastal feature is.
that's why I had a question for Bill.
It's a good question.
Has this got a PD yet?
Pardon?
Has this got a PD yet?
They aren't giving PDs, is what I understand lately. So no, there isn't a PD. They have been in consulting with coastal. But we've not been able to get a coastal PD.
Okay, because that tell you the coast.
Well, the coastal zone differs from the
Yeah.
coastal PD too. That's a zoning issue as opposed to a state issue.
Yeah, it says 100 feet from such coastal feature or mean high water as determined by CRMC. Whichever is more inclusive,
And determined by.
as determined by CRMC.
So you can't,
Yes.
you couldn't have it put on the site plan unless they tell you where it is.
Well, no, I think what he said was it's either from the mean high water or the coastal feature as determined. We can't get a determination.
That's what I'm saying.
We can't get a determination, but we can approximate where the coastal feature is, and we have on the plan.
Well, I think that, no, I think for determining where that line is.
But the point is, then they have to come out and look at the site, and that's what they're not wanting to do these days.
I think that you need that. in order to move forward and to determine where you're at.
Shall we kick this over a month and let me go back and address
Let's
those
just get
questions?
some, that'd be great to
Yeah.
get that, especially that.
Pardon?
To me, that is
Yeah,
the biggest issue.
That
That's a
is
good
one of-
catch.
That is one of the problems now with coastal. They won't give a determination PV without the building official, the zoning letter that says you can do it.
And you can't get that without having
Without
this.
having it go
So that's for the
before.
entire project, that's not for,
No, it's also for
Yeah, they
pieces of project. Yeah,
no, I don't think so. That's not, I mean, that's not faithful to you and I. So-
that's what my engine, I haven't been dealing with it, but that's what all my, several engineers have told me. That was our engineer's determination. So we'll kick this over a month. I'll get back to you.
Okay,
Thank you.
so we're not going to act on this application at this moment or schedule it. Okay. Thank you, Joe.
Thank you.
Okay, the second application of the evening is for David and Lori Sigfridson, plat 18, lot 50, fire number 540 off Center Road, an application for a variance from sections 113C and 306C for construction of a dormer to a non-conforming single-family dwelling.
Good
Hi.
evening.
How are you?
Hi, I'm Ken Sigfridson. And my wife Lori owns the house there off Center Road. So we're seeking relief for a side yard setback to put this dormer on existing house. It's over an existing bathroom that is very limited right now.
Is
And,
it, I'm sorry, is it going on the accessory structure or on the main structure?
Main structure.
On the house,
On the
on
house,
State House, okay.
Yep. it is.
Right, that's where I was confused, because I saw something in my packet of what looked like to me to be the accessory. And
Yeah, there's another dwelling on the property.
Well, there's one dwelling and one accessory. Right?
yeah,
Mhm.
an accessory.
Yep. So we won't be changing the footprint in any way, just putting a 5x15 dormer on.
And are you, I'm sorry, I'm just trying to get. So you're not increasing any footprint,
No,
it's just increasing living space within the setback.
right?
So this has a complicated excluded street right-of-way situation because there's several that affect the lot. If we look at the site plan.
Right.
And I don't see that subtraction having taken place.
Did anybody talk, did you,
Yeah, the right of ways are subtracted.
or subtracted?
Yeah, they're subtracted on there.
On
Yeah,
the
there's,
first page,
there's actually 2 right of ways.
right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So how do that?
Oh, I
work?
see on the first page, combined right of way, 7,740 on the first page, Judith. Square feet. Oh, it's the lot area, and then that's, so the 43,612 is your net. After the,
The figure should be correct. Yep.
So what is the developable land area that the lot coverage calculations are based on? And
Well, you're just taking that lot area and subtracting the right of way, and then that's the number.
yeah, but it is 40, the number's too big. I'm seeing 51,362 less 2,200 or 7,200. 70, okay. Equals 49,162.
so your application, the way the application is filled out,
Mhm.
excluded street right of way, it reads as 43,612 square feet.
Okay,
So you don't have 43,000. So the 7740, we just need to amend the application to read right.
I took all that
I know. Right, So this number, I think, is the 7,740 square feet, that's the amount of space of right of ways. So that is the number that goes here. Because you don't have, this says you have 43,000 square feet of right of way, which would leave you with 10,000 square feet of developable space.
And while you're looking at the amendment there,
So-
under G, lot area,
Yeah,
that says 51,352, and then under the developable land calculation under lot area, it says 51,362, so it's a difference of 10 feet.
okay. All right, but we need it to be accurate
read the
because
same.
when they go to issue the building permit, they are looking at all of this and our decisions and everything. So everything needs to be correct. So if you could cross this number out, put the correct number in.
And change this to 352.
Exactly, and then initial it, please. And it's right on the second page. It reads right on the second page. Sure. And again, that number needs to change. The excluded area of lot is not 49,162. Right?
It's the same number.
It's the same
but it
number.
Doesn't get added twice.
Take out the right of way.
No, it's the excluded area of the lot is the area or lot or area of a lot or a land parcel in which development may occur, including private lanes and roadway. So is that right?
Right, so we're taking out the.
7740.
But it's still not
I'll work
right.
on it. We'll figure it out.
Okay, so we just are gonna need that amended properly, if you could meet with Jen.
Okay.
And then that way when we go to the hearing, we'll know what the math is.
And then maybe also just if you could give us a little, either now or in the recalculation, how you, those with those laneways are, they're not platted anywhere with dimensions. Did you, what, kind of measure them? Is that?
Just scale them.
Mhm.
I scale them off the surface.
Off a survey?
Yep.
Okay. That's fair enough.
Right, that's the survey.
Yeah, okay. Okay, by Bob, okay.
You only have
But it's
half of
not,
it.
not changing the footprint of the house.
Right. No, I do understand that.
It's just about making sure that everything's,
Right.
because then the next person down the road, you know, like comes to do something to the house and we don't have the numbers right and it's just snowballs.
Thank you.
We try to keep everything. You do that, you want the whole thing, okay. All right, so I will move, anybody have any more questions? I'll move to schedule this for the August 24th meeting. That's good.
Second.
All in favor?
Hi.
That'll be, yeah, so make sure you meet with, you're gonna, Jenna's gonna walk you through all that.
Okay. Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Even us with the hammer, this is the one.
Right, yes.
Yes.
There we go.
Great, thank you. Thank you. Okay.
Farmers Paid.
Farmers Pay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Is that one you were talking about this?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. If Florence Spade LLC, Plat 2, Lot 32-2, Corn Neck Road, application for a special use permit under 406 to construct a single-family dwelling, accessory structure to be used as a game room and storage, accessory structure to be used for storage and fitness studio. The single-family dwelling exceeds the limits set forth in 306E, planning board conditional approval for an administrative subdivision of lot 32-1 and 32-2.
Just make sure that microphone. Yeah.
Minus, yeah.
Good evening. My name is Scott Spear. I represent the applicant. And I believe you have seen Jen's memo that she sent out today, which pretty accurately describes the status of the project. It was just last week that we discovered that one of the buildings in the plan exceeds the threshold maximum, and it's the principal residence. You recall that the limit used to be 5,000 square feet. It was amended down to 3,500. The architects had the 3,500 number, but for some reason, when they finished the project and were given the application to fill out, they used the numbers for a larger dwelling. That has been duly noted, and as of yesterday, they were having meetings to reduce the size of that one building on the lot and can have a new building design. It will be basically the same building shrunk down to get below the 3,500 number. We'll have that within probably a week or two. As it is, even with the size that exceeds what's allowable, all of the lot coverage issues are underneath the maximum. So we're just making the project more conforming, and but most particularly conforming with that building size. So that was just an oversight that needs to be corrected, and it will be corrected. And once it's corrected, we'll be able to move forward with the project without any issues. This is in a status today, hopefully for you to send this to the planning board. The planning board obviously has not begun any review on this project yet, other than the fact that 2 weeks ago, they did grant an administrative subdivision conditional on the special use permit just to move the lot line. So that has already been taken care of. So we're just ready to get the project started with the planning board. We just need to clarify this one issue of the one building to get the size down so that it fits within the parameters of the special use permit. We think that that's an easy fix, and we can get it done expeditiously so that before the planning board gets their review done, their review process started before the next hearing, we'll be in good shape to get the process rolling.
Personally, I'd like to see this.
The
Yeah.
application isn't complete, then, right?
Yeah,
Well, yeah, right,
Yeah.
application is-
I'd like to push this application to next month's meeting because so they can get us the proper information, as it won't take long. We should have it by next month's meeting.
Yeah, I understand that, and that's certainly your prerogative to do that. This is very similar in ways to the two applications that you just heard, where people were making changes and amendments before you at this stage to try to clarify things before the hearing. So we're really doing nothing here than has been done multiple times in the town through the years, making corrections, adjusting numbers and things. So all we're doing, all you would have the benefit of is seeing a 4,900 square foot house down to a smaller house. That's the only thing that you'll get by allowing this thing to be delayed at least by another 30 days. And I just don't think there would be any hardship to this board, to the town, or the planning board, just to move forward and getting that filed with Jen before the planning board process starts. You're not going to be hearing the matter. There's nothing for you to see at this stage. It's just setting it down for the planning board.
But we don't know what's going to the planning board yet.
Yeah, it's this application with the house modified to fit within the special use permit number.
When you say within, will it still trigger the threshold or?
Oh, no, it will not go over. It'll be under 3,500.
It's not the issue of being over the threshold for special use, it's actually.
Yeah.
So
it-
you can schedule a public hearing for something that's prohibited.
No, it'll be set by the planning board. It'll be conforming when the planning board hears it. You're not setting a hearing date.
Well, this would
I'm
be
confused.
setting a public hearing date.
Oh, for the zoning board?
Yes.
Oh, I'm looking for the matter to just be sent to the planning board, not to schedule your hearing yet.
Yeah. Has to get scheduled first, and then they send it to the planning board.
You're setting the zoning board hearing date tonight?
No, we're not tonight. It would be, once the application is complete and accepted, we'd give you a date to go to we'd give you a date and you could move on to
Planning
planning
board.
board and then come back here.
Right. Now, that's what we're proposing, and it would just be correcting this one issue in the application, just as the other applications you heard tonight are being corrected before their public hearings.
I think it comes back next. I think it comes back. The application gets corrected, comes back next month.
Okay, so to make that one correction and then come back next month, and we'll have the same conversation then that we're having now
It's
You'll
gonna
see-
affect a number of documents. I mean, it's
Yeah,
not like a
you'll
number.
see it that night, and then at that point, you can refer to
It'll
the planning board.
it'll-
Okay.
it'll get
correct.
scheduled,
Okay.
to refer to that. So,
And I still think you need to work on those calculations for raw building coverage. That's a.
Yeah, once that change is done, it'll trickle down through the numbers. Those will all be adjusted. It's a pretty simple fix. That's why I was hoping we could just
Sure.
move it along without having to bother you folks with another night of hearing this again and get the planning board started.
we'll be here.
Okay. Okay.
Thanks for your time.
All right. Do you need to put anything in the record on that, Jen? The matter is being continued to next month for,
It's not being
Just-
continued.
okay,
Yeah, it's not being continued.
okay. All right. Thank you for your time. Look forward to seeing you again.
Next one is, I'm recused then. so-
Right, so the
That's
first,
right, it was, Hmm?
right, so we're
Yeah.
starting with the Michael Brilliant.
Right, so can
John.
you just use your microphone?
Certainly, certainly. Is this better? Is that good? All right. Motion to dismiss the appeal by Bluffhead LLC, Michael Borelli and Michelle Ann McBride of a decision of the building official issuing a building permit to Philip P. Trahanas and Jennifer A. Trahanas as co-trustees of the Jennifer A. Trahanas Revocable Trust for construction of a fence as moot. Letter dated 5/14/21, permit number B 21-153 dated 5/10/21. This motion is based on the following findings of fact and conclusions of law. One, the fence is located on plat 14, lot 31 in a residential A RA zone on property owned by Philip P. Trahanas and Jennifer A. Trahanas as co-trustees of the Jennifer A. Trahanas Revocable Trust. Two, the fence on plat 14, lot 31, located on the south border of the property and constructed in April 2021, is less than 6 feet high and is a chain link fence. Three, the building official testified that at the time of construction of the fence, it was his determination that a building permit was not necessary. Four, subsequent to this determination, a building permit was issued by the building department on May 14, 2021. Five, the building code of the state of Rhode Island requires a permit for fences that exceed 6 feet in height. Six, the zoning ordinance of the town of New Shoreham defines a structure as a combination of materials to form a construction for use, occupancy, or ornamentation, whether installed on, above, or below the surface of land or water, including but not limited to porches, patios, stairs, decks, and flagpoles. Seven, the zoning ordinance does include fences in several sections, specifically 172D definitions, freestanding signs, 410B3 recreational facilities, parking areas, 502D3 off-street parking, 503B1 landscapes and buffers, 504C1A signs, 510A4 accessory uses, primary access road. Since fences are mentioned very specifically in the zoning ordinance, the lack of fences being included in the definition of a structure strongly suggests that the authors of the zoning ordinance did not intend for fences to be included. 8, if a permit had been required, it is the conclusion of the zoning board that the zoning ordinance should have specified that one was required. 9, the zoning ordinance of the town of New Shoreham does not specifically require a building permit for a fence. 10, since a building permit was not required, the appeal is hereby dismissed as moot.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, aye, aye.
I did.
Yes.
Vote it.
I move to approve the application by Richard and Joyce L. Joyce, plat 19, lot 34, fire number 925. For a special use permit under section 306, 401, and 406 to demolish an existing family dwelling and rebuild a single-family dwelling and accessory structures. The single-family dwelling exceeds the limit set forth in section 306. The motion is based on the following findings of fact. Number one, the subject property is located in residential RA zone. Number two, the lot is 209,422 square feet in total area and is located on Champlain Road. The proposal involves demolition of an existing dwelling and garage and construction of a new 6-bedroom single-family dwelling and accessory structures. Three, the special use permit and development plan review were required for this application because the main residential structure being proposed is in excess of the standards for building footprint, living area, total gross area, and building volume established in section 406 of the zoning ordinance. Number four, the residential development involves a 1,720 square foot 2-bedroom guest pool house, an in-ground pool and hardscaping covering over 3,585 square feet of the property, installation of a new OWTS and a large retaining wall. A retaining wall detail was submitted with a letter from the applicant stating it is associated with walkout basement. The retaining wall is approximately 11 feet high and 30 feet long and will be covered with stone veneer and screened partially with a planting bed. CRMC Ascent permitted the grading of lawn area within the 25-foot construction setback to create a natural slope and mitigate runoff into buffer was granted and has been reported in the land evidence at Town Hall. The pathway to the shoreline is to be relocated away from wetland setback, and existing pathway is to be abandoned and allowed to revegetate naturally. Permanent markers are to be installed 24 feet above grade along edge of the buffer zone. Number six, the proposed footprint of the single-family dwelling is 505 square feet larger than the existing house. To be demolished. The average height of the proposed structures are below the maximums allowed, 27 feet 11 inches and 24 feet 2 inches. The building coverage will increase 0.48% from 1.54% to 2%. Significantly below the allowed 4%. The property is outside of the flood hazard areas. The applicant received favorable advisory from the Planning Board and Conservation Commission. The proposed use of structure is appropriate for the specific site and is compatible with adjacent buildings in form, placement, and design. The design and layout of buildings and other proposed structures shall be related harmoniously to the terrain to existing buildings in the vicinity. The scale, height, slope, and proportions of the proposed buildings, the design, including roof style, facade openings, architectural style, detailing, and building material will be visually and dimensionally compatible with the surrounding area. The proposed use as developed will not adversely affect the established physical and visual pattern of land use and will not have negative effects on island character. The landscape shall be developed in such a manner as to be in keeping with the character of the surrounding neighborhoods and in accordance with good development practice by minimizing vegetation and soil removal, retaining existing vegetation where desirable, and keeping any grade changes in character with the general appearance of movement area. The proposed use or number 10, proposed use or structure will not cause a nuisance or serious hazard to pedestrians or landward and seaward vehicles and their users. Number 11, adequate and appropriate infrastructure facilities, including but not limited to sewage disposal and drainage, will be provided to ensure the proper operation of proposed use or structure. Number 12, proposed uses and structure will not cause a degradation of the quality of surface or groundwater. Number 13, the proposed use as developed will not adversely affect the established physical and visual pattern of land use and will not have a negative impact on the island and neighborhood character. 14, there will not be significant negative impact on important natural resources, including but not limited to habitats and species listed as endangered, threatened, or of special concern for our Island National Heritage Program, or in historic or archaeological resources identified in the comprehensive plan or a document referenced here. Nor will the proposed uses and structures cause a degradation of the quality of surface. The motion is subject to the following stipulations. The proposed structure shall be located and built in strict conformity with the site plan and building plans that were submitted. Number 2, the existing structure must be removed prior to construction. Anyone want to make a motion to approve?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Was anyone absent?
Oh, I didn't, I'm not voting.
You're not voting on that.
No, I am on that, yeah. Sorry. I was thinking it was John, yeah.
Thank you, Jen.
Okay. I move to approve the application of 585 Beach Avenue LLC, Plat 5, Lot 92, fire number 585 for a special use permit under sections 113B, 1, 310E, and 408 to demolish the existing structures on the property and construct a new inn and accessory structure to include employee housing and professional and business spa services. 1, the property is a 31,129 square foot lot located in the RCM zoning district. Inns are permitted in a district by a special use permit. Proposed use will be in conformance with the current zoning. 2, the proposed structure conforms to the dimensional requirements of the RCM zone and to the dimensional required set forth for inns in section 408. 3, the property will be served by town water and sewer. 4, a site plan showing proposed structures, setback lines, landscaping and drainage plans have been submitted. The proposed drainage plan for the site prepared by Thomas Principe, PE, have been reviewed and accepted by the town engineer. 6, the applicant received approval of the planning board under development plan review for the project. 7, the application meets the general criteria for special use permits, and the construction of the inn in the RCM zone is consistent with the purpose of the zoning ordinance and with the town comprehensive plan. 8, the proposed use of structure is appropriate for the specific site and is compatible with adjacent buildings in form, placement, and design. Design and layout of buildings and other proposed structures shall be related harmoniously to the terrain and to existing buildings in the vicinity. The scale, height, bulk, and proportions of the proposed buildings, their design, including roof style, facade openings, architecture style, and detailings, and building materials shall be visually and dimensionally compatible with the surrounding area. 9, the proposed use that is developed will not adversely affect the established physical and visual pattern of land use and will not have negative effects on land and neighborhood character. The landscape shall be developed in such a manner as to be in keeping with the character of the surrounding neighborhoods in accordance with good development practice by minimizing vegetation and soil removal, retaining existing vegetation where desirable, and keeping any grade changes in character with the general appearance of neighboring areas. 10, the proposed use of or structure will not cause a nuisance or serious hazard to pedestrians or landward and seaward vehicles and their users. 11, adequate and appropriate infrastructure facilities, including but not limited to sewage disposal and drainage, will be provided to ensure the proper operation of the proposed use or structure. 12, the proposed uses and structures will not cause a degradation of the quality of surface or groundwater. 13, the proposed use to develop will not adversely affect the established physical and visual pattern of land use and will not have a negative impact on the island and neighborhood character. 14, there will not be significant negative impact on important natural resources, including but not limited to habitats or species listed as endangered, threatened, or of special concern to the Rhode Island Natural Heritage Program, or in historic or archaeological resources identified in the comprehensive plan or a document referenced therein. Okay. This motion is subject to the following stipulations. 1, the inn, accessory structure, employee housing, and professional spa services must be built in substantial compliance with the plans and elevations submitted in the application. 2, this decision hereby incorporates the conditions set forth in the favorable advisory of the planning board. Such conditions are as follows. A, paved aprons for curb cuts on the state road shall be required, having 20 feet in width. B, current zoning regulations allow up to 2 bedrooms for housing units considered to be section 513 accessory apartments. The floor plan shall be modified to reflect a layout that is consistent with the current zoning for any proposed section 513 accessory apartments. C, current zoning regulations require 513 accessory apartments in this zoning district mixed use be for year-round occupancy only. D, the plan shall be referred to the building official to confirm the proposed new structure does not exceed maximum building height as defined by the zoning ordinance. E, the applicant has not provided an outdoor lighting plan with the application or specific light fixture details. This board requires that outdoor lighting on the site be limited. Fixtures should be dark sky compliant, shielded, directed downward, and compliant with the town zoning ordinance. This board considering requiring installation of sidewalks at the site, given the number of pedestrians the property use will generate, but there are no existing sidewalks. However, in the event that the town undertakes to install sidewalks in the area in the future, the property owner shall contribute the full cost of such installations as it relates to the sidewalk directly adjacent to this property. Is there any discussion?
I'll start.
Okay, okay. All in favor? Okay. Aye.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.